I swear it's like every time right before we start streams, there's a tendency for the world's stupidity to kind of catch up with me. Anyone who's been following my content over maybe the last 3, 4, 5 months knows that I have been rather vocal about looking for places to work at and whatnot. And I had applied to a well, I'm saving this information partially for the next excrement employers upload, which will be, I think, the fourth one. But anyways, I applied to these people maybe about 3, 4, 5 days ago. Um, and right as I'm getting ready to stream, I get a call from a New Jersey number, and the place I applied to is California, so this kind of weirds me out a little bit. But the person on the end of it's like, "Oh, is this a good time to speak to you?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I guess." And then they're like, "Oh, well, we don't have to." I'm like, "No, it's fine." He's like, "All right, best of luck," and then hangs up on me. Like, why the hell would I say this is fine if I wasn't trying to do this? That's why I said people just this employment situation really feels like a cartoon. But let me get to the topic that we decided to, because I'm not trying to be a clickbait or any of the other crap. So I'll read this article and then we can, I guess, give some opinions and whatnot. This is from hotnewhiphop.com, website I don't ever use, but they're covering Candace Owens because apparently mainstream media has kind of turned a blind eye to her after that silliness that took place with her comments on Floyd. So I'm just saying that this is a source that, and I have another source that says the same thing. All right. The recent police-involved shooting of Rayshad Brooks has caused the public to once again call for justice. 27-year-old was found asleep in a Wendy's drive-thru, and when someone attempted to awaken him, he couldn't be stirred. Responding officers were able to speak with Brooks for 26 minutes, where he admitted that he was intoxicated. He told them he could walk up the road to his sister's house, but the two officers were intent on arresting him. He wrestled both officers and ran away, resulting in former Atlanta police officer Garrett Rolfe shooting him twice in the back. So there is this thing where basically, if you defend the person who gets brutalized, you get accused of, as Owens will say, siding with criminals. And my thing is, him wrestling with the cops was wrong, but if he's running away, that's clearly not someone who is enough of a threat to warrant using a firearm on them. Usually, you're supposed to pull those out when you're actually having your life endangered, not when someone is fleeing from you. Maybe you should lay off the donuts if you don't want to chase after the person. Anyway, so Rolfe was fired from his position, and this is the article speaking, not me. Radical conservative Candace Owens has stepped forward, saying she wants to help raise funds for Rolfe and others like him. And this article freezes on me because, of course, it does. I think I got a little picture of her on here. Recently, Candace Owens has found herself receiving backlash from the public over her 15-minute video about George Floyd. In it, the political pundit denounced Floyd. We already know that happens. Let's see. Here's her tweet. Black Lives Matter supports criminals. Blexit supports police officers. We are working on building out a fund that will go live tomorrow for officers that are unjustly terminated. Can someone please give me the name of the officer that was fired for #Rayshad Brooks incident? Candace Owens penned in one tweet. She also wrote, any person demanding justice for Rayshad Brooks is representative of the absolute vermin of American society. Jesus Christ. There should be protests demanding that the police chief be reinstated and that Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms resign for placating criminals. I've had enough. #back the blue. Oh, that's the end of the article. All right. The main takeaway from her comment was that She wanted to support the officer that was involved in this scandal or case, whatever way one would like to refer to it, and that she was calling any person, these are her words, any person demanding justice for Rayshad Brooks, representative of the absolute vermin of American society. Jesus Christ. Also, Seventh Day, you really are trying to get yourself banned. I just put up a Dragon Ball video yesterday. I don't need to be lectured on what I can do with my own channel. So if you're trying to turn, you're saying she's a paid puppet. If you're trying to turn me into your puppet, you can go somewhere else. Variety's a spice of life. You say hello to Trex. Yeah, I don't like attempts to control me. That's not necessary. Trex writes, I have a similar perspective. Man, Splendor just dropped 2 paragraphs at once. He's trying to. How can I even read that? I'm trying to read Trex's comment. I have a similar perspective. Rayshad Brooks was running away from the officers. The other officer had a taser that could have been used to restrain Rayshad. Theoretically, couldn't they just get in their car and chase after him in that if they can't catch up to him on foot? If we want opinions, we should discuss the DA in that case who was under criminal investigation for embezzling $150,000. He ran away, then turned around and shot at the cops with a taser. And then the cops shot him. It's on video. That he was shot in the back twice thing is a lie that is disputed with video evidence that clearly shows Rayshad Brooks shooting first. Uh, well, if that's true, please. Well, I don't want to set you up for something you can't. What's the word for it? I don't know if YouTube still allows people that are not the person who's running the channel to send stuff. So can you point me in a direction where I can actually find this video and play it and see for myself if this is truly something that has been concocted? Oh, some name calling in here. I didn't say he wasn't, but I'm not going to be controlled on my own stuff. Sorry. I thought the whole point of that group was that it was people who had difficulty with relationships. What does that have to do with saying that someone is being lied on in terms of the circumstances of their death? Like, how are those two things related? Because I've been called a member of that group before, even though I'm not, and I'm anything but right wing. So I don't know what that group has to do with this topic. So this other article I have here is by Black Enterprise, and this stream already has just a awful start. We got one person that made noise a couple minutes ago. I got one of my subs trying to control me, and that's the craziest part about it. You say that Owens is a paid puppet, but they're trying to turn me into a paid puppet. Put little strings on me. Must do what Seventh Day Soulless wants. Must act way he requests. Only talk about things he wants. I mean, I'm not laughing. I don't appreciate that. They could not let Rayshad run away. He beat the hell out of two cops and stole a taser. And he had a violent criminal record that including holding. Okay, Splendora, even if he had the record, what does that have to do with, like, when you were talking about, and again, I'm not confirming whether this is true or not, but when you were saying that these people shot him after he shot at them, that at the very least would make using violent force seem justified. But if you're going to keep bringing up, I don't know, I guess maybe I don't get this. If the person's criminal record had nothing to do with what they were presently doing, I don't understand the point of bringing it up, and especially in its totality. Well, again, I asked him if he has video, because he's saying that all these articles are lying. If he has video proof of what he's saying, as he claims he does, then link me to it. I don't think that should be that tough. Oh, James, how you doing? Are you going to try to control me too? I'm not allowed to talk about certain people on my own damn channel. I just found it out today. It's apparently not a thing that I'm allowed to do. Well, here's the thing. I don't own a trademark on DBZ, so you can watch plenty of other people who discuss that almost by itself. I literally just put up a video on that yesterday. Who is this? I don't know who you are, but California, which I think I just mentioned less than 15 minutes ago. Like, I guess that wasn't something you noticed. I'm trying to see if I can find this video. Okay, Trek says Philando Castile did everything correct and he was done wrong. Non-criminals still get mistreated by cops, and cops still look at non-criminals with a grain of salt. Well, that's why I don't get that they keep bringing up these records. All right, I'm waiting for it. This isn't me trying to challenge or anything. I'm just, I haven't seen it. I just personally don't really like seeing where somebody gets murdered. So that's why I haven't seen it. But I will see it if you can validate what you're claiming by proof of whatever's uploaded or whatever's in it. No, he says he's looking for the video. What, the record video? You think he forged it? He's got some edited clip where, in his version, instead of running away, he like CGI'd this man to hold a weapon. Apparently not, James. And it's like the stuff he's asking for. Literally, like, I put up what, 3 videos about. Well, I guess it wasn't 3 videos. It was 2 videos and 1 stream relating to that stuff in less than 2 weeks. Do you support? I don't think it's going to have the effect that people who back it want it to, like people who enthusiastically back it. I'm just going to say it's like a weak yes. Like, You know, uh, there was actually someone who gave a really nuanced position where they said if you put in reparations and let's say I don't know, the office holders say, "Oh, we can give you 1,000 each or 2,000 or some crap that's going to be decent short term, but not in the long term." Then, if you ever ask for any assistance ever again, they're like, "Nope, that's it. That's enough. We already helped you." So again, it's a weak yes. It's not, but it's not something I'm pushing for. Well, I didn't say anything about whether the money was made possible. I'm just saying that it's not something I think is going to be distributed in a way that people who support it think. Like I said, man, all the Democrats that were pushing for that, they don't care. Where the hell did Ruben go? He just vanished. I thought I was going to get on here and talk about this because the thing with Owens is that it's not even just what she does, it's the reaction of people that don't like her. I already said, if you want to call the comments stupid, call them stupid. You want to say she's paid, say she's paid. But just like some of the commentary gets kind of crazy. Like, oh, you're not really a black person. Like, this is weird. But you know what that is? That's people basically saying, due to your ethnicity, you're not allowed to have a certain opinion. I don't get that. They say that to a lot of conservatives, and I just don't think I should be, nor should any other person be the decider of who gets to have what views based off of their ethnicity. Again, if you want to say your opinion is stupid, that's perfectly fine. But a lot of the nonsense that's been written online has been kind of goofy. Now, Trex is saying that he's still voting for Biden in November. So his comment, instead of him saying Democrats are like wolves in sheep's clothing, it should say Democrats are like wolves and I'm a sheep, so I'm going to support them. Like I said, I got the screenshot of Trex's Biden 2020 donation. He gave that man 2 grand and was talking about how he's abusing the African American vote. When you get in support like that, you can be be free roaming with how much you show support for him. No, that little Brexit thing she said was stupid because so if you demand justice for anyone that you think is even if the person doesn't have a criminal record, which again should not exempt somebody from being considered murdered in a brutal way, but even if you like, she literally said if you support or call justice for these people, you're supporting criminals, and if you are on the Brexit team, you're backing the police. Had to go to binge to find that Google was not helping me find it all. It does show, and the cop shooting back. I mean, again, if you just link it or say the site, I can go watch it. I think Splendor is trolling me. He got me. I was over here thinking we were gonna have some big man. I can't even believe the wow. All right, well, I guess we'll be switching topics very soon. Is it not showing my link? No, that's what I was worried about, that it wouldn't show the link because you're not the they do this thing where if you're not the person who's running the channel, then you're apparently not good enough to have your link posted or some kind of thing about spam. But if you tell me what the website is, I can go to it myself. So I didn't kill anybody. like she really said that we're the vermin of society, or what was that crazy comment? Like I said, she says crazy stuff, but a lot of people say crazy things back to her. Let's see where it is. Any person demanding justice for Rayshad Brooks is representative of the absolute vermin of American society. So if you think this man was killed unfairly, you're part of the vermin of society. Not just think of how insane it is. Because you think he was killed unfairly, and thus you request that the laws, you try to work within the laws to maybe, whether that's protesting peacefully, to get a different response to his death. You're part of the vermin of society, not the rapists, drug dealers, child molesters, serial killers, terrorists. They're not part of the vermin of society, but you are, because you said something she doesn't like. Oh, I don't even know what that is, Splendora. That looks like a. They must have posted that on Pornhub or something. Let me grab it and see if what you claim is actually the case. Yeah, I don't want to play it on here because it's gonna do some old goofy crap. Where like a lot of the videos on here, what the hell just happened? We went from 9 to 6 to 3 to 2. It's like what the hell? Oh, that is so goofy. All right, give me a second to stick this link somewhere, and then I can send it to my phone and copied it and added spaces between characters. Oh hell, now I'm gonna have to do that too. Oh no, YouTube is acting weird. Like what the hell happened to the people? I know I'm doing it right now, Splendor. I'm trying to post it somewhere so I can copy and paste it and then get rid of the spaces. But if these, I'm warning you, if these spaces, when I get rid of them and I click the link and it still doesn't take me to the video, I'm getting rid of you because I know you've been trolling. So keep that in mind. Make sure you get your last comments in. Sorry, did not know how else to make it appear. I mean, again, if it's actually the link, it'll be fine. But if it's some old, bookstore advertisement, I'll be very upset. Yeah, tracks YouTube with its sorcery. That's so weird. Like I'm supposed to believe all these people, like half of the people just left at the same time, like all organized. Or give me a second to make all the pieces come together. See, that was clips. Yeah, this is ugh. Man, this damn thing. I'm gonna just type his name in because it takes too long to make that or I can just do it on the computer. Because I don't want the whole, you know what happens when you don't speak during the stream. This is getting boring. I gotta leave. I've gotta run. I have to vanish. So I'll type it in here. Also, is it true that you're part of that group, Splendora, that you were being accused of being part of? That romance group that I try so very desperately to avoid the members of or any affiliation with. Remember this one guy asked me, he was like, why do you always try to avoid them? I was like, because I don't want to be associated with, any group of people ever, because it's the same thing where you might have some of them that act normal, but then you have one that might act crazy or do something weird, and then you get blamed, you get lumped in a category. Guilt by association, and that's really problematic for me because I don't know to be responsible for what other people do. Hmm, this is way faster. Give me a few more moments. I'll have this done. Oh, let's see one. That clip better be more than 2 seconds long. I hope YouTube doesn't mess with me over the audio. What? These. So I just typed that in. Um, no, Splendora. I don't know what the group that he brought. I don't want to say their name because I don't like giving them any kind of attention. But the group that like you can scroll up when you first got confronted, and you'll see where he wrote that you're a right wing member of one of the romance groups. No splash. I am not part of that group. Mm. I just picture Splash is watching this from his like a pool or something. All right, so I tried to link to watch that twice. I can't get those stupid spaces out of there. I got it out the second time, but it took me to looking it up on a Google search. I'll just type in the video's name or his name and then video so we can crack this mystery. And now Trex is vanishing. He decided it was time to disappear. Uh, body cam video. This is on Court TV. All right, let's see this. Now we can know what if Splendora was telling the truth or if he was trolling. Atlanta police released body cam is the name of the video. Yeah, I should be on that. They had me watching this stupid ad. So it was on Court TV. I have to wait 12 seconds. Yeah, what a crazy stream. Trex, this is his last day. He won't be showing up after this particular stream.
Went to visit my mother's gravesite. I'm not causing any problems. Brooks is given a breathalyzer. Just take a deep breath in. Get your mouth over the mouthpiece. Go as far as you can until you stop. Blah, 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 stop. The officers then give Brooks a number of other field sobriety tests. And at this point, Brooks is doing everything he's told to do. Asking if he can just walk home. I can walk home. I don't have to. Why would you walk home? I just don't want to be in violation of anybody. I can walk. My sister's house is right here. Then everything changes when the officers decide to take Brooks into custody. I think you've had too much to drink to be driving. Put your hands behind your back, boy. Put your hands behind your back.
Jesus.
As Brooks begins to fight, there's a struggle over Officer Brosnan's taser. You're gonna get tied. Brooks wrestles the taser away and breaks free. Officer Rolfe gives chase with his taser in his right hand, but then, watch, he switches the taser to his left and draws his gun. Meanwhile, Brooks, while running, turns back and fires the taser he took from Brosnan at Officer Rolfe. Seconds later, Rolfe fires his handgun and Brooks falls to the ground. Brooks was taken to the hospital but died during surgery.
Jesus. All right. Well, I didn't see a shooting. What I did see was him grab the taser and then run off with it. So that wasn't mentioned in the article that he grabbed the taser and then had it in his hand and shot it at the officer. So there is. Again, I don't like seeing that kind of stuff because it's just personally off-putting for me. But that was a detail that was left out, whether by on purpose or not. I don't know. Fox segment 3 minutes, 17 seconds long. Let me see what the name of this video was. It was police release body cam video of Rayshad Brooks shooting. So, I'm just saying that I'm not about to sit here and watch 99 videos. What I will do is go on Twitter and read some of the responses to Candace's newest scandal. All right, type his name in, type in Candace's name, and let's watch the insults fly. My thing is this: they already patted him down and know he has no weapon on him. The officer clearly knew he had the taser, but decided to do a racial killing. Well, like I said, if he's running away and he's not like, well, he technically did have a weapon on him, but I mean, taser is a lot less dangerous than a firearm. So I don't get why they couldn't have just dodged the taser and got, like, it's just, I don't believe that was necessary, but Candace apparently did. So we're going to go look at the crazy stuff people are writing to her. Uh, okay, Aaron Steele says the point is, wait, let me see what he's responding to, which tweet of Candace he's responding to. Okay, so Candace wrote on the 18th, nobody cared that George Floyd pressed a gun to a black woman. Nobody cares that Rayshad Brooks beat a black woman. For defending these women, I've had black men threaten to assault me and call me a whore. Now, see that I don't agree with calling her a whore because I don't know understand how a dissenting opinion on this makes you or whatever. It's just that's the kind of weird commentary I'm talking about, and I don't support violence of any kind. So, I'll be on her side in reference to that versus the actual points that she makes. This Aaron person says the point is that George Floyd and Rayshad Brooks deserve to die in those circumstances. I understand that M. Brooks, I think that was probably a typo, stole the officer's taser and pointed it at them, but is that a reason enough to shoot a man dead? I would say no, but whatever. She apparently thinks it was. Okay, most media is releasing only one of the videos that did not show Rayshad shooting. Oh no, that video did show him shooting the taser, but I thought you said he had a gun. Only the one that had his body cam knocked off that and did not catch Rayshad shooting the taser is regularly released. So that video didn't hide that fact. These news articles didn't. I don't remember them mentioning that, but more weird stuff. This person says firing at him in his back is not justifiable. If Dylan Roof can be driven to Burger King after murdering 9 black people, why couldn't Rayshad Brooks be driven home? That is true. Like, why? I don't. It's funny with Roof. I always remember just distinctively that they took this little spawn of Satan, not because of his ethnicity, but because of what he did, to get something to eat after he killed all these people. But then this man that apparently you think is drunk, you're going to try to bring him in when you could have just driven him home. Told him to go pick up his car tomorrow, or have his sister pick up his car. Tasers can kill people as well. They are called less lethal, but less lethal is still lethal. I'm not saying they aren't. I'm just saying that we know they're not as dangerous as a gun. Whatever. That's the best thing about online. My point gets misconstrued and characterized in all kind of absurd ways. It's fine. Control this person. We're having a this is a low view stream. We got people jumping in and jumping out over and over. Yeah, can you order it? Because they act stupid when I call them. Well, can I give it to you? Tasers are classified as non-lethal, so that wouldn't hold up in court as deadly force. Yeah, that's what I remember. That they're considered to be cause non-fatalities. Uh, Splendora says Rashad was on parole for holding a pregnant black woman hostage with a gun to her stomach while five buddies were. I thought that was no, wait, that's not Floyd because that he was not on parole for that. Apparently, he went to jail for that. So many of these, crimes are starting to sound familiar. Letting someone go with a history of taking hostages was inadvisable. I guess that I didn't even know people did that. They put guns to someone's stomach uh, as a threat. Because if you shoot the person anywhere else, wouldn't they still have a good chance of not keeping the child or whatever? I want to get too deep into that. Just I wasn't aware that was actually a thing that they do. What a crazy news story. Let me see what else in the news. This was already enough of a antagonistic topic. And like I said, the point of mentioning this is to discuss both the incident, her response to it, and then people's response to her because you can find messed up things across all sides. Like the killing itself was screwed up. What she said was screwed up. And then with a lot of things, a lot of the rhetoric that's used in response to her comments are really unnecessary. Um, you do have people who give her death threats and all that crazy crap, and I just, it's really unnecessary to, run your mouth in that way. Somebody said something I don't like, I have to say that I'm going to do something to them. It's funny. I was actually watching a stream this morning. A person who has a channel that's a little bit, in terms of subs, smaller than mine, and he was streaming this video game, and he had a guy who was spamming in the chat, so he got rid of the person. And their brother came on the stream, and they said, "You were bullying him. He's only 9." Uh, and then they were talking about if they were in the same neighborhood, they would kick hit. And I was just sitting there reading this thing to myself. You're so upset over him talking to your brother in an admittedly kind of angered, harsh way, that your solution is to respond with the same level of aggression, if not more. Because he just said something messed up. You're actually threatening to mess him up over a stream that you don't have to watch. So I'm just saying that's something that people do just across the board. Like if you say something they don't like online, there's a high chance they'll act in a ridiculous way like that. They love playing that game. I will say stories with a lot of these commentators have been catching my eye more recently because as I mentioned before, politics has gotten really, really boring. Like outside of the virus and these shootings, there's not that much to talk about because everything's kind of just been frozen in place. So that's the reason I'm kind of not doing as much of it as I usually do. Like since March, it's just been meh. Like I think there are actually days where I don't even go on the Hills website anymore. Like these are the first times in just in years where I don't, do like daily news updates where I just keep going and looking to see what's going on. Let me read what was written. Splendora said, "Taser is a lethal weapon under Georgia law." Well, I live in California. I didn't know Georgia law. Usually, the only thing I remember are those the laws regarding the age of consent. And that's only because sometimes they creep me out. Like, oh my God, in this one state, if you're 16, it's like being 18. Like that's kind of, that's self-serving if you're at that age, but if you're not, it's like, oh, they got to do things that you have to wait 2 more years for. That was part two of a larger comment. The same prosecutor charged 4 officers in Atlanta just 2 weeks Rashad happened, before Rashad happened. Like this is his whole life, just this one night. Um, for using a taser to subdue someone that was resisting arrest, calling it excessive force, and calling that a taser, or calling that a, yeah, I don't really see what I think there might be some grammatical errors there, which is fine. I'm not the the English police, but I'm just saying that at the end I wasn't able to understand what you were trying to get at or convey. So if you can clarify, that would be nice. If you can't, then it's fine. We'll just live with the mystery of citing. What the hell is up with this chat? It goes from 8 to 6 to. Oh, and people are so weird on here. I don't even know anymore. I'm just gonna let them do what they want. I might even start doing it to where I have the little, because you get the number icon at the top. Just start putting it on the side where I can't even see who's in here. That's crazy as hell. Yeah, this is mainly also due to the fact that I haven't really done a like a lot of times if I don't put out a topic, it just kind of turns into a whatever type of thing. And I was trying to have some consistent thing discussed here. So this case is not looking good if the taser is considered deadly in that state, but obviously the laws need reforms. Yeah, I thought that was the point of the protest, or they're trying to change laws and get things amended to be, I guess, considered more fair. So I don't think that anything's gonna happen to these officers as far as like, oh yeah, they got fired, but as far as going to jail, and no, because what Splendora said was true, then they're considered to have been in the rights no matter how screwed up it was. And like I said, people unfortunately don't deal with sustained outrage. So give it about maybe 2 or 3 weeks, you won't hear it get mentioned at all anymore. They'll go into whiteness protection. They're gonna end up like Darren Wilson. They won't. They might even stand trial. Well, I saw your comment yesterday, Dio. I hearted it. I should say you're welcome, and I guess flex my, I don't know, ability that everybody else has that puts up stuff. The ability to heart a comment. Oh God, what a sick cycle. Like this is just politics and just the world now, where every week we get more updates of more and more people catching this virus, and then somebody gets shot, and then people get mad for like 2 weeks, and then while they're going out and protesting, they're spreading the virus around even more. One of these commentators says something dumb, and then everybody starts losing their minds and writing death threats and I hope this happens to you and all that trash. God, it does not end. Like this year is someone even pointed this out. This is literally like a retread of basically every year that what's a good word for where there's sustained coverage for one of these shootings. It's the same cycle where people protest, the commentators say all kind of stuff that's all over the place, and then after a few weeks we go and move on to something else. Also, the prosecutor overcharged felony murder is something like you go in to rob a bank, and while you may not have intended to kill anyone, a person dies as a result of your felony. And Spondora's over here trying to convince me he's some kind of lawyer. Mm. Yeah, D, I'll put out another DB video probably either later this week or this weekend. I have a script, but it's not finished. So we had somebody else come in earlier when they were trying to, I guess, be the Mesmero to my, this that's the character that controls people's minds. It was like, where are the videos on this? I'm like, I just did one yesterday. Damn. Hold your horses. I didn't know I had to pump out 5 or 6 of these a week. Scott says Dementia Joe will save USA. Well, like I said, he's mainly going to get votes because people are, pissed at Trump over this. So it's not over being excited for him to start leading the United States. It's just people being so anti-Trump that they'll be pro anybody. Put my dog up on the Democratic ticket, it'll get some states. He committed no felony to justify that. It's inevitable that he'll be found not guilty. So it'll cause more riots, but that'll happen after the DA's reelection is over. Well, I mean, isn't it just going to be a repeat of what the Michael Brown situation, where the person who did it gets off and everybody does this for a few weeks and then it's all back to normal? That's why I can't even take these Floyd protests seriously, because I mean, we've seen the same game play out. People get mad for a few weeks, they grandstand on social media, and then nothing changes. Of those people in Dallas should have gotten felony murder. When the guy said he wouldn't breathe, they said, I don't care. Yeah, they get away with a lot of crooked stuff. That's my damn lights could work. It's because I'm away from the camera. That's why that's doing that. Where the brightness goes up and down, like it focuses, then it goes out again. Isn't that terrific? All these race riots, protests will stop after November. It's not even every 4 years. They have, like, we had the what was the Mike Brown thing during the midterm, not the last midterm, the one before that. They just pick somebody that again gets killed in a screwed up way to get upset over, and then after a few weeks things go back to how they were before. And they'll be like, you're trivializing his stuff. Like, no, I'm saying that this is what they do. People do not have long attention spans. They just don't. So they get mad for a little bit and then they go back to, business as usual. I got this one person who's been like tweeting about all this pro-black stuff since Floyd's death. I'm just like, why did this man have to get murdered for you to now suddenly, along with all your little white buddies, want to remember the various black people who are not being so like what are you doing, man? But again, if you complain about people doing stuff like that where they hop on a bandwagon and start caring about certain stuff after somebody gets murdered, you're the villain. You're the one who's making that good Samaritan look bad. Like, no, I'm just pointing out that this person is, uh, you know, just jumping on the bandwagon. If their friends weren't doing it, they wouldn't be doing it. I'm glad they're reopening cases. How the hell do you kill yourself, remove all your organs, and roll yourself up in a mat? Those cops who wrote that report should be fired. Wait, what? Who was that? Are you? I think I might know you're talking about, but you didn't say his name. Was that the one that was in the gym that they like saw in the video playing? Was it like basketball or something? And then he was found rolled in the mat. No, if they pull out organs, they must be in the red market. Who is this? Yeah, I'm just kind of done with a lot of this stuff. Oh God, this is so sad. Every day is the same thing. We get more cases of people getting the virus, and then you see some protesters. Just politics right now is awful. It's been bad for the last at least 3 full months. Like if I go on the Hill, I just have to scroll through days to find stuff that even remotely is interesting to talk about. Like with this, I was into it because I saw this really high turnout the last time I talked about Owens, which was the first time ever. And then also, I guess maybe that has to do with that video going viral because her video did get 1 million+ views. But God, I might as well just stay away. We had awful turnout. We had like 9 people come at most, or 10 or whatever, and then we had one person who tried to control me, tried to put me in bondage and tell me, "Look here, Mr. Dissinger, you can and can't talk about this." I'm like, what the hell? I thought I was among free men. Apparently not. This must be early 1865. The Emancipation Proclamation hasn't been signed yet, so I have people who can control what I say and do. Oh, don't even start on that, Scott. Listen. I tried to address that a couple of years ago. I got called all kind of "you're fake African American," all this trash. I don't even. I leave them alone. It's an uncomfortable reality they don't want to put up with. And anyone who calls it out gets basically you get more blowback for saying something about it than the people who are actually killing people. Like with Candace, for example, she made a really stupid comment about the Floyd shooting, but I don't see any of that same outrage specifically being directed toward the cop who actually killed the man. I said people, and it's like you have people who come on here and say, "Oh, you shouldn't have given her the attention." I'm like, I'm doing a video that gets at most maybe a couple hundred views in response to a stream that got over 1 million views without my help. So it's not me that's giving her attention. Especially if I'd never done a video about her until what, 2 weeks ago? The protester, yeah, Splendora. I already did a video on why that stuff is stupid. But the long story short is, if you do not like a person that is depicted in the statue, vote to get rid of it. Because you can have some Klansmen go up and say, "I don't like Martin Luther King's statue," and start cracking it down. It'll be the same logic. So if you want to remove a statue, do it in a democratic manner. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's Robert E. Lee or Jefferson Davis. You know, Well, that's why the reparation thing was always kind of weird to me because, I've been following politics regularly, like on a daily, close to daily basis since 2013. And I swear to you, until last year, I never saw any politician. Maybe there were some, I just wasn't maybe paying attention, but I never saw any politicians come out and say we need to have reparations ever. They just didn't talk about it. I know it's been discussed a couple of times in the past, but it only started to really get traction with this election. And like I said, if it gets passed, at least people will stop complaining. But again, the problem is they're going to still be like, well, you didn't do it properly. It's like, yeah, but what were you expecting those people to do? You say that they're unconcerned about you, and now you're surprised and they don't do things the way you like. That's a shock. The same group of people you were saying don't care about us and all that. It's like, yeah, what did you expect when they were in office and I guess trusted them to do what you thought they would do? It's just a tale of dual narratives. Yeah, people like to believe stuff, and then, well, they like to half believe. They like to tell you in one breath, this person with power cares nothing about us, but then they want to protest in the hopes that that person with power will acquiesce to their petulance. Grant was a general that eventually, Splendor, really, man, you trying to get banned? You really think I don't know who Grant is? I don't even want to read the rest of your comment. I'm just gonna look away. Having the audacity to type that sacrilege. Let's give all Black people $1 million today for reparations with all be right after. No, I'm saying that it's like it doesn't matter what amount you give people, you're eventually, if it doesn't go in the way that they think it will, you'll have people who will still complain anyway. Las Pandora was insulting my intelligence. I know what you were doing. We caught you. And I'm pretty sure Harris and Booker were in on it too. Let's see when this thing is supposed to be coming. Yeah, it's really weird. It's just I thought it was a dead topic that was settled, and then all of a sudden it just got pulled back to the public, like to the forefront after. Hey, these people just start bringing it up for this election. Like I said, man, if it actually mattered, they wouldn't wait until they want to run for president to start talking about it. So is there anything anyone else wants to say? Let me know. Any further comments, statements, thoughts, theories, speculation? Again, I tried to make this as interesting as I could. I hope I succeeded in that effort, maybe not. People won't be satisfied. Yeah, they just find stuff to complain about. But yeah, that's why I don't really try to get involved with things like that much. Like if you have a question, I'll answer it, but it's not something I'm gonna ever try to talk about by itself because it's too much of a slippery slope. If you were to reward people for a complaining, they're going to complain more. Yeah, why is this reward gold and not platinum? So yeah, I'll put up some videos throughout the week and then stream again on Saturday and then maybe on Thursday. I don't know. But yeah, thanks for checking this out. See you later.